Hey guys, sorry I've been gone for a bit, but I am back with an exciting 6-week series in honor of my 3rd wedding anniversary. I decided to start a Percy Jackson-esque tradition of creating a clay bead every year with our favorite memory from the year on it. However, we chose to do every year we knew each other, which is now 6. So 1 bead a week is what is going to make it a 6-week series. So we are starting at the beginning in 2019 when I met my now husband Keagan. I could not narrow it down to one thing on the bead, so there will be 2 sides on it. Starting on the first side, I am painting the Indiana Wesleyan University logo. This is significant to us because we met at IWU during freshman orientation week. My older sister was a senior at IWU at the time and had been giving me a lot of advice. And one thing she told me to watch out for was what the students there call freshman dating season, which is where all the new freshmen all pair up and start dating. But we will get to that later. I had seen Keagan around doing magic tricks for the fellow students as a way to make friends. In other words, he is a total extrovert that wanted to get to know everyone as soon as possible. I am the opposite and had found a friend who is actually my best friend all the way through college and beyond. So in other words, I'm an introvert who stopped at one friend and the small friend group that came with her. How I actually met Keagan was that he apparently knew someone within that friend group and had come over where we were hanging out under a tree. He came over and climbed it, and soon jumped out and started doing magic tricks for us. Till this day, I joke that he fell out of a tree into my life because that is how I met him and spent 2 hours listening to him nerd rant about superheroes and the like. And I got a serious crush for him. So long story short, despite my sister's warning, I fell prey to freshman mating season. It wasn't even a month before we started dating. But the story that goes with the second side of the bead actually also happened within the first week of college. Upperclassmen had told my friend group about a local hangout about 30 minutes from campus called Insomnia Cookies, which is actually a cookie store that you can go to in the dead of night. Since it was a Friday night, my friends and I were intrigued and decided to carpool, but there was one seat still open in the car, and all my friends knew that I had a crush on Keagan, so they said I should invite him. I didn't have his number or anything at the time, but just as we were leaving, we bumped into him and his friend Matthew. I invited Keagan as we passed, and we all started running to the car. I didn't think Keagan would follow, and I looked back and saw that he didn't. But Matthew pushed him to follow us, so I hoe him for making Keagan come. The cookies were a little overhyped, but the car ride in between gave us a lot of time to hang out, and I got to hear a multitude of jokes from Keagan, my favorite being one about the difference between a violin and a fiddle. But I shouldn't have expected any different inviting an extrovert into a car full of introverts. It was by far one of the best nights of my freshman year, getting to hang out with all of my awesome new friends. The other reason that night was a turning point for us was it was the night that Keagan started having a crush on me. So that is why we have deemed as these 2 moments as our favorite moments from 2019. Even though they were only a couple moments from my first year with this weirdo I now get to call my husband.